video this morning. Thanks for all those that checked it out about African Americans and graffiti, because we never really touched on the topic. We never really you know, graffiti played a major part to the movement and to what hip hop is. So, let me shout out to Josh Five was getting busy on them gates. J5, Easy, Josh, rest in peace, Josh. Josh is from St. Nick Projects. You know what I'm saying? The same place as Teddy Riley. Across the street from a crew called the Young Guns. It was wild over there. Drew Hamilton, it was a wild project. JOZ came from there, you know what I'm saying? We had Dez, TFA. Just to touch on that, the video again a little bit. We had Dez, TFA, from our hood, Rare, ET Mob, he was getting busy. My man Blake, Cash, he was getting busy. My man 1001, he was getting busy from the FC crew. We had my man. We had FIFA. FIFA was getting crazy. FCC. That there was a lot of African Americans that got busy. Vulcan was getting busy. You know what I'm saying? Vulcan was getting busy. It was crazy, man. It was a different time, man. When we was all younger, graffiti was like some of our first criminal. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I said, what does graffiti have to do with the streets? Because this is a good topic. Graffiti was other than God bodies, Muslims, and block gangs, graffiti crews was like, it was how you really moved around in the five boroughs, man. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these crews that you see that took millions of dollars, 3 wrote graffiti, and 4 was just dudes that ran with the squad. And that's just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know what I mean? So you might be, like you said, TAT crew, and you be chilling, and there's 20 other cats that came in TAT, but they don't write, but they're just from the block. So a lot of times graffiti is what unified a lot of people, other than the guards and the earths. Just peace. Yeah, other than the guards and earths and all that. You know what I'm saying? Because graffiti crews was able to get you off your block. You know what I'm saying? I mean the guards is traveling, but to be guard body and go to another person projects, you have to be an official guard. Like you just wasn't pulling up talking about what's the 1 to 10. Dudes was real serious. The guards was real serious back then. So you had to be on your dean before you decide to leave your block and travel, become a traveler. So what it has to do with the block is like a lot of dudes that first wrote graffiti, these dudes became, big in hip hop, big on the block, big in the streets. Some of them even became famous gang members. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So it had a lot to do with the culture in New York. Nobody really talks about what does graffiti have to do with the streets, man. I mean, you think about it, right? When you bought a Sub-Zero DVD, you didn't never thought that Deep Freeze used to write, you know what I'm saying? On that magazine, he used to write graffiti. You know what I'm saying? You never think when you hear DJ K Slay that you didn't know that he was Des TFA. I remember when I was at the Hall of Fame, this had to have been 89, the TAT crew, the Hall of Fame, for those that don't know, is in New York City. It's 106 in Park. The theme of the show, 106 in Park. But technically, the studio on 106 in Park, across the street in the tunnel, that studio was there for years. And that studio, they used to do Sesame Street there. In East Harlem, in El Bavin. Then they bought when they did 106 in Park, they did it on 106th Street. When you enter the tunnel, it's Junior High School 13, which is the official Graffiti Hall of Fame. Now, when I was there, when the Attached crew was there, T-Kid was there, Brim was there, Bio was there, the TAT crew. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of guests. There's a lot of guests that came through, Ghost came through, but Ghost came on a late night. He had a Ghost tag. Joey TDS from the TDS crew, he was out there. I'm gonna give you some history, man. This is '89, man. That's the first time I met Vulcan TFA. For those out who don't know who Vulcan is, Vulcan used to be in the Village. They had a booth. Him and I believe it was Chino BYI. They had a booth. Chino BYI is crazy famous in Queens. I mean, he's famous all over, but in Queens he killed it. That's Louis 167, exactly. And these are the dudes that, you know what I'm saying, because after the train era, the game changed. Like I remember when Dog TRC from the hood used to come and speak to me and my man. And my mans, they was into graffiti heavy. They was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? I used to write with a crew called PT-131. My tag name was Key. But these dudes was on go. They was doing throw-ups and all type of killing the sanitations and all that. You know what I'm saying? And so Dog would always kick it with us. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was going to the galleries back then. We talking about 88, 89. You know, shout out to Keith Hammond and what's his name, Gene Basquet, rest in peace. And there was one more, another artist used to bring a lot of the graffiti artists to downtown to those galleries. Even there was this crew called the BAC, I remember, and they had, I don't know, I forgot which train line it was, but they had the babies. They had babies. They had graffitis of babies on the abandoned building, and it was an outside line. And when you look, that was dope. I think they was part of the whole Keith Hammond movement. If you don't know who Keith Hammond is, he's the guy who did the Crackers Whack Wall. He was the Bansky of what graffiti is now, killing the subways. He was on go with the arts, and he supported urban graffiti. Again, what does that have to do with the streets? A lot of guys that wrote graffiti when I'm going to the streets. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys that passed away started, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just for all those that sort of check out the Real Podcast by my man 5 Footer. If you don't know who he is, yes, off the FDR. Maybe 5 Footer. He has his Facebook is Ralph Ant C. His IG is 5 Footer NYC. Just check it out, man. He's running with Ricky Bass. He's doing great things over there at Gotham City. You know what I'm saying? They doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? But we in the building. This is hip hop you talking about. Because I remember like Jake and them. They used to write graffiti. A lot of them went to the block. You understand what I'm saying? Like graffiti is what got you off the block. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti is what got you, like, you know, this is the era of Decepticons, the era of you know, I'm talking about after the trains. The era of Deceps, the era of just $1 billion on the street. So a lot of famous people that y'all look up to all wrote graffiti. Even I remember when the Latin King said that on Sun Show. Like, yo, I used to write graffiti back in the days. Graffiti really got you around, because if you go to Parkchester, you run into some dudes and you might know somebody. Yeah, my man, he down with a crew called Boom Boom Boom, and you inlay Flynn with them. You know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah, son, yeah, he cool. He wasn't saying son back then. Like graffiti, because you had different neighborhoods that was just like graffiti blocks. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, 2 dudes are like graffiti, but there's 80 cats down with the crew. You know what I'm saying? So this is the part of the streets that people don't talk about. Like graffiti didn't die out. And I don't know why I thought it died out, but it never died out. But it just never went nowhere. It's just that graffiti has gotten more commercial now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Techie, TNR and all that. You know what I'm saying? It just got more, it has gotten more commercialized. So dudes is actually getting a check. A lot of dudes is getting a check. They got a good name for themselves. The people are flying them out to all these other countries just to do a throw-up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes' first gang, you gonna say gang, was the graffiti crews in New York. But they wasn't gangs, it was called crews. But they was like graffiti crews. Like, you walked around with stickers. When you went somewhere, they say who you down with. You say, yo, I'm down with Boom. That's who you was down with. You know what I'm saying? It was like graffiti played a part to a lot in the hip hop culture. Definitely in New York. I don't know about other states. I know that in other states, for what I've read and heard, that graffiti has gotten people killed, because places like California, Nevada, Las Vegas, you know, when you write graffiti on somebody's territory and there's a form of disrespect, then allegedly a couple of people pass away. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's just a little more violent elsewhere. Yeah, graffiti and breakdance. So there's a reason why I did this show, because a lot of people miss out on certain portions of New York, and then they're just trying to, because everybody want to know how do we get to the gang culture, and the gang culture really played a part to the new flow of jail inmates, more jails, TNT, and once they made it trendy, once it became a trendy thing, dudes like you know what I'm saying, dudes was just joining the gang just to join the gang. Like, let me be in them all in. And it was fascinating because the news was covering it, and it was fascinating because a lot of females was chasing dudes. Oh, because it wasn't like that. So the dudes that was fashionable with it, they were still street dudes. So you got a guy that he's running around with 20 cats. Me and my man had a good conversation. There's a crew in the Bronx that was getting money. He was like, Zeke, they was kings, but they didn't get locked up for a king case. And I'm like, what? He said, because they wasn't pushing their brand like they was kings all day. That's just what they did where he was at. But they wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? So when you say about getting money, these dudes was getting bread. They caught a ill-fed charge, you know what I'm saying? And that's like, whoa. Okay, so you know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It wasn't. Now these dudes was getting millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? And the only people that probably knew that they was kings was people that know them or was in their neighborhood. It's just, this culture violence. And the reason why I do these shows and I'm doing what I'm doing is just to educate y'all. And then, if you don't believe me, y'all can build with each other. And that's what I want you to do. Build with each other and then come up with a common ground, man. Because the only way that we're going to stop the foolishness, unless you have these conversations. You can jump in my comments and talk crazy all you want, but it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Just don't jump in my comments and talk crazy because you believe that I have to get my point across. It's not about getting your point across. It's about others building a dialogue. And that's what Graffiti did. We built dialogues. Listen, my connection to Bushwick was my man Bally, Gumby. That's my connection to Bushwick. You know what I'm saying? Those are the dudes that brought me out there. Those are the dudes that, you know what I'm saying? So when I was going to Bushwick was crazy. You talking about the 90s, $1 million blocks. Them parks was crazy. Bushwick was wild, you hear me? It still is wild, but it was $1 billion out there. So, you know what I mean? So, just hanging out in Bushwick, hanging out with dudes, because Graffiti will put people together. If we go to the west side and see my man Dev will come on the east side and hang out with us. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like I said, man, it's all for the culture, man. I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of dudes' first times off their block was Graffiti in our era. The first time somebody said, yo, I was over here, I was hanging out in Wash with the TWB. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I was in East River with the EA, with them dudes from EA. You know what I'm saying? That was just the time, man. That was, I think when it comes to this culture of New York, I don't know it all. But I just was outside and I could just give you the best that I could give you. Now, out of all the 20 names that are the first 20 that was probably the most popular, they probably was more popular in their neighborhoods or their blocks. We can't take that away from them. But in that generation, there was the bad drug habits. Y'all keep saying dope. There was a bad Wooler era. So there's a lot of guys that was going to jail for robberies, for bodies, because, under the influence, it was a harsh time back then, man. Dudes got stuck in the game, man. Salute, sincere salute. Dudes got stuck in the game. When they got stuck in the game, it caused craziness. You see what they said about the Preem team when they came to Princeton? They said they alleged that they was doing they started using their own supplies, and you could tell by the differences in how they moved and how they negotiated in the crimes that was being committed on the streets. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's just the word. Say salute. Salute Buffalo Soldier 716. So a lot of times, not just funders, but a lot of crews got destroyed because of, that white destroyed a lot of good crews, man. Because it had dudes doing things that they would normally do. Spending money crazy, doing things, trying to keep appearances. And then sometimes people just fall off, you know what I'm saying? So this is where the jail and, you know what I'm saying, the necessary bodies. You know what I mean? Like the bodies was crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? You think about it, 1,000 bodies a year, 1.2 thousand bodies in 1 year. It was. Don't ask me that shit. It was, because I'm not even from here. You know what I'm saying? So this, it was bad. It was a bad time, and a lot of young boys was getting stuck. How y'all say young boys getting stuck on the lean? There's a lot of young boys getting stuck on the moves, man. There's a lot of young boys sniffing dope and all that. This is what they was doing. That was the era, and this is the era that transitioned to what we got now. You know what I'm saying? Not just with the homies. You know what I'm saying? It was with a lot of cliques, man. A lot of dudes began to fall off and started bugging out, and everybody started going to jail. You know what I'm saying? It's just that you had dudes that been going to jail. Now you have a new generation. Your bucks. You know what I'm saying? Salute, salute. Then you had another generation of dudes that began to go to jail. That was new to jail, like me. I was new to jail. By the time I'm going to Rikers Island, as in, I was in the county jail the first time. I was in Rikers Island, fast pace, fast speed, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, cut, stab, jump, riots in the law library, riots in the school. Yeah, bro. And sometimes you have to deal with that reality, man. They created ground zero, and we in our face, and I don't think we never really realized that they created ground zero in our face, man. Where we created a narrative where we're the enemies with each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of dudes, man. They got stuck. They got caught up in the game, and that's how money started getting missing. That's how dudes started robbing dudes, and robberies going wrong because of that. You know what I'm saying? If your man getting all the money in the world, a lot of times because like, hell yeah, we made it through all that, bro. We made it through all that. We made it through all that. You know what I'm saying? We seen good dudes. I seen good dudes that was getting bread, and 4 summers later, he walking fast at 2 o'clock in the morning. Let me get 2. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, damn, he was getting to the bag. Like there's a couple of dudes I remember that was getting money that fell. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, son. And you know, when you fall, you resort to what you got to do to get high. A lot of dudes became sticky because that's when a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Definitely Buffalo, we made it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes got caught up. That's where all the bullshit robberies came at. That's where all the people was mugging people's grandmothers. That's when people was robbing their mother for her SSI check. This is when it was a risky era. There's a lot of dudes that's in jail for the weirdest crimes that you respect as the big homie of certain organizations. You know what I'm saying? I know a dude that was in jail because he beat his moms up because he wanted to get high, and this guy was respected in the spot. You know what I'm saying? 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, the late night money. See, the late night money, you find out who fell off. You know what I'm saying? Because the late night money bring all the shenanigans out. 2 o'clock in the morning, you already know, niggas, dudes start coming through, yo, let me get 2. Oh, I didn't know you was getting hot, bro. Nah, we was the same, bro, back then. Nah, this is for, my man want this. Someone comes to the block, he don't, whatever. Yeah, all right, yeah, get money. You seen it, man. I seen good dudes that was known as stick-up kids slip, catch the wrong robbery. You know what I'm saying? Facts. Seen it like, yo, this is crazy. So that we knew one thing, no matter what we did, don't play with nobody money and don't start getting high. So that meant no extra, nothing extra, no putting this on the table and trying this out. We knew, because we knew what we seen in front of us. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we paid attention to. If we would have paid more attention, we done got out the game a little earlier than what we're doing now. But you know, it's never too late. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, man. See, what's happening now is to be a drug addict with us, it wasn't fashionable. You knew who was falling. Because they don't come to the block in the daytime. They come out at night. And when they come out at night, they come out at night looking, yo, son, da, da, da. You'd be surprised how many dudes I caught in funny cribs, like, oh, what are you doing here? Yo, I'm chilling. I'm playing cards. Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what are you doing here? This is crazy. I can't give him 4, but allegedly, but nah. I'm just playing spades with them, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to be outside. It's hot. We done seen it all, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm happy I seen dudes do better for themselves. See dudes got off. And it's funny because I think within the drug culture, of our drug culture, which is weird, a lot of them push it off as to be gang members. But the only thing that messes me up, right? Because it had to be the total person that didn't do drugs that to make this one rule. Why would you create a gang with 12 guys? I know 12 guys, you know what I'm saying? Out of 12 guys in your gang, 10 does something extracurricular. One might be a leak head. One might be a wet head. One might be a woo head. One might be a coke head. One might be a dope head. One might just be an all-out drug addict. Any drug you give him, he on go. Why would y'all sit and make a rule like that for? You know what I'm saying? So when you create this rule, you had to do it for the new generation and target a bunch of old niggas you wanted off the map. So that meant that whoever created the rule wasn't on drugs. You know what I'm saying? But this is how I'm gonna retain power. I know y'all all get high. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a rule that's gonna delete y'all. That was the beginning of the 1090 shit. because out of all the rules dudes can get around, we can't get around doing the bag. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, y'all probably sit there and go, Zeke, that sounds crazy, right? But in our era, that's what it was. Just like these young boys with the perks and Xannies and all the other craziness that they do. We had them old cats. So imagine all these cats is gooning in an adult on Rikers Alley. There's at least two dudes that sniff here and there. You know what I'm saying? Because they in jail for these weird robberies. You know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? There might be one in there that's really in there for a body, for some money, but the rest of them is in there for robbery going all the way wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so you sit around, you create a situation, right? And when you create the situation, you go, yo, I know how to retain power here. I'm gonna make a rule that's gonna 0-5 of them out of here. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. Now, it was the beginning of, that was one of the beginnings of the 1090. Now, I'm saying this to say this. When you create something, you have to be on board with who's going to make the rules. Because the rules now are playing out to this day. This is how they zero dudes out. You could be the shooter. You could be shooting from here to Iraq and back. But if somebody said they seen you by a bag, somebody said they seen you by a bag of dope in the yard, that puts you on the next thing flying to IPC. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I never seen nobody get around. Mess with the bag. You know what I'm saying? Even the famous gangsters, they conceal their foolishness. You know what I'm saying? It take other dudes to blow their spot up. Like, yo, we was doing the bag. I'm telling you, we was doing the bag. I was in the cell with him. I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? So that's only one rule. And I'm not just saying about that because I'm going to say about, I don't know what the Latin Kings rules is because the Latin Kings never really exploited themselves to us. They never put the information out there like that. Like the Crips, you don't know what their rules really are unless you was Crip before because they don't put all their rules out there. But we, of course, we do. But I'm pretty sure that, but I don't know because I know, you know, on the Wild West, I can't imagine that they had a rule don't do drugs when, you know, on the West Coast they was known for that sherm. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt that rule would ever pass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I really doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, from this day on, we're not doing no more sherm. That was not working. That's why it's funny how we have the sherm conversation that we talk about the Crip nigga individuals that we talk about because that was big in Cali, I guess. I remember that's what they said. When all the drive-bys was going on, these guys were smoking on something called sherm. You know what I'm saying? So the angel dust thing just wasn't a New York thing. It was a Baltimore thing. It was a everywhere thing. Like that water was everywhere. Whoever was the chemist is a billionaire right now. So that's how I broke down the graffiti era. Now there was a lot of graffiti heads that was water heads. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what they do, man. And that's how you do it. You sit and that because when you deal with something that don't deal with no money, you got time to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? Because power is power, man. You feel me? And it's sad that it has to get to those levels, but power is power. And I know some people might go, yo, Zeke, you be bugging. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that. You know. I'm gonna tell you what's crazy is I remember watching 2020 special, and there was like 10,000, thousands of people dying in drive-bys with the assault weapons. I'm like, what? Who would have thought that New York would have picked up a lot of those traits? And the thing about the worst thing about it is that we picked up an even worse trait because these young boys is losing their minds. You know what I'm saying? These young boys is losing their mind, man. And it's drugs. It's one. I was watching this thing, and the young boy said, "Yo." Young boy said, "You can't give that." Did I say that? To play with these streets, you can't care. B-boy was popping. Not to give you this quick lunch break talk, you know what I'm saying? Graffiti in the streets. So now you understand that graffiti was like one of the last elements. Your Casim Torres was Papino. It was one of the last elements that hit the streets, man. I mean, before, the game, graffiti's still here, but it was still like, definitely shout out to Jaws, the African American writers, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the X-Men, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the writers, but nobody really shouts, I'm saying, my man Johnson over, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta be, we gotta be to the point where we're just gonna be on point, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have these conversations. And I know some people, dead on stone. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm saying. So it's like we all have to enjoy this, man. Enjoy this information, this conversation, because this is what you know what I'm saying. Most dudes used to make it feel. You ask dudes what they was doing before. Some dudes was breakdancing. Some dudes was want to be rappers. Some dudes was dancers. There's a lot of dudes that was dancing in the club, trying to get on, and they got caught up catching cases. I'm telling you, man. Dudes that used to dance. I remember that dancing group thing was serious. When y'all seen Juice, and they was dancing in the party. When you seen New Jack City, and they was dancing, this was like real big. Like you had a crew do this dance. Like me and my man to go to a party and start dancing. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Demo, Test Move, Double R, G-Bo, the pro, East Side DJs. You know what I'm saying? Salute to the West Side ones. But these are dudes on the East Side that definitely represented hard in the era. You know what I'm saying? Breakdance was in. Break graffiti going to the club fresh was dope. You know what I'm saying? It was dope when you went to a joint and you was fresh to death. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep in mind the years that we're talking about Rikers Island, you can wear your clothes. You know what I'm saying? So you could be fresh to death. So it wasn't like you never left the streets. You understand what I'm saying? You walking around Rikers Island with your clothes on. You just got back. You walking around with, back then it was, what was it? Fila slippers? The Fila slippers, and you know what I'm saying? Oh, they took your back with the Fila slippers. When's the last time you seen them? Remember the Fila slippers and all that? You know what I'm saying? But you wore what you wore in the streets. Champion sweats, discus sweats, game hats. You wear, and then only the real survive, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What, man? Those graffiti wars are serious, man. Salute, Bentley boys. Salute from the Billies, no doubt. Salute from the Billies, man. This was supposed to be on this chat. It's supposed to be like this, nothing but love. And we all building. If I'm not right, y'all can build and destroy. I'm 47. I might have a date wrong or a year wrong. This is how we start to converse. You know what I'm saying? Now we can't find medium. Now we all can't find medium ground, and that's when you get zapped because we're wasting our time now. We're not here to play with your comment for 30 days. We're not doing that. Other than that, you give money. You know what I'm saying? I give my utmost respect to all those because this is what men do. But we're dealing with the era. Why you think? You know what I'm saying? Like why would you think G-Dep, after all them years ago, I was leaked up one day and I think I killed somebody, allegedly. Because that was the era. Dudes is wildin'. Like that was the norm. Dudes will be high and they want to keep getting high and they'll book something. And sometimes the robbery went wrong and we don't know what substance they was on. Some dudes are smoking water, some dudes are smoking wools and it might go wrong, man. I remember one time I know the Bronx, it still goes on in the Bronx at times, which is weird, but people were snatching a lot of pocketbooks. And I would think that Brooklyn would have topped that date with the pocketbook snatching, but Brooklyn has it for some weird reason. Even with the iPhones and all that shit. The Bronx, I don't know what's going on in the Bronx, but a lot of iPhones getting snatched too. I don't know. Now, Brooklyn got their own shenanigans, but when it comes to that little, the weird little crimes, the Bronx been on top lately, you know what I'm saying? But in the era, that's how dudes got high, because dudes couldn't afford nothing, man. If there was no jobs, how was somebody gonna? That's why we said to threaten them to cuss you sometime. Listen, don't hang out in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to hang out in the building because we were forced to jump. Now think about this. Some of the dudes that became cussies, that dudes were disrespected, when they got locked up, some of these dudes was big homies, running yards. You know what I'm saying? Some of the, you know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Some dudes is running yards. Hold on, brother. Some dudes is running yards. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Definitely Jazz up Bremen in the building. Dudes is running yards. Dudes that, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to even tell you. They're not going to tell you. Like right now, you ask a young boy what they enjoy, I do lean, I do all this other stuff. Back in the days, dudes held their addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they didn't want to show a sign of weakness. They didn't want to show that they fell off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you just said that's a fact. A lot of dudes just can't, because we don't know what goes on in people's households. We don't know what dudes really went through at home. So we don't know. Only thing we know is what we see in our face. We don't know if it was you know what I'm saying? Some dudes was living in trife. You know what I'm saying? When you listen to the song "All I Got Is You" from Ghostface, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that if he was smoking water or he sniffed or he was smoking wools, because look what he went through. He had brothers that had two brothers that had MS. He had to change it. He had to carry him. He had to walk them around at a young age. So imagine what he went through, having to be tough because people try to snap on him and gig on him. So he had to be a gangster at the age of 13, 14, just because, I used to gig a lot and snap a lot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, so when he began to play in the streets, he played in the streets. I remember when Ghost was on that island for a robbery. That was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Ghost had a robbery. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? These dudes catching robberies. You heard Cream. You know what I'm saying? You understand people's stories better when you actually listen to it, right? Raekwon said his mom was in the shelter. That's him in the Staten Island like nothing, man. My mom left my pops. She went to the shelter. Boom, that's how I got to Staten Island. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history, man. Definitely shout out to LOD, shout out to Long Island, man. You know what I'm saying? Central Ice Slip and all that. I forgot these guys' names, but I remember being locked up at downstate. And there were some guys that this was 9/7. They was claiming LOD. You know what I'm saying? That Keith Murray thing. And I was like to a Crip from Long Island named John J. So he's official. Rest in peace, John J. But yeah, before, you know, it's just these conversations we gotta have, man. And when we reminiscing and we go into these conversations, it becomes real. You understand what I'm saying? It just becomes real. So we don't fault them for being for having habits, because we don't know what they went through. We don't know what these dudes is going through. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is that when they created this gang culture thing, whew, they put rules. You know what, Manny Brim? I seen him one day. He was in Harlem on 112th. This is like a couple of years ago. I was moving somebody, and he was on that block. I remember it was 111th or 112th by Lennox. I seen him out there, man. I think he locked up again, but they said that he brimmed that joint out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not faulting dudes. It's just that, some dudes began to live better in the penitentiary than they did in the actual real world, man. Some dudes never really got as much attention and respect until they went to the penitentiary. Yeah, that's my scenes on 112th Street, you know what I'm saying? By 112th, you know what I'm saying? But so definitely, man, I just hope what this hip-hop have to do with what this graffiti have to do, because the graffiti was like the last, for a lot of street dudes, you know what I'm saying? Some dudes that stuck with it, though, that shout out to all of them, like, that was J5 and them. There's a lot of dudes that just migrated to the streets that, you know what I'm saying? So you might have thought that graffiti fell off. Now, it's a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of those writing crews became drug crews. You know what I'm saying? Like, even look, Fat Joe TS was a graffiti thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It was a graffiti thing. That was his crew. He used to write graffiti, Crack TS. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, who'd have thought the guy that made Empire was in Beat Street? Remember the movie Empire? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? He was part of the Rocksteady crew. You know what I'm saying? Word, we in the building, man. Just give me that New York. You know what I'm saying? I know some of you may not be from New York, but it's just good to hear something, because every city got their own shenanigans, and we all can talk about it, and we all can. Everything bumps head because we all went through the same struggle. Like I told you, sugar water, free cheese. You know what I'm saying? Carnation milk with cereal. The no thrills. We all been there before. Food stamps, big books. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us got the same conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? Single parents, single mothers. Dad come around when he want to come around. You had to figure it out. Had to pack bags, right? Some of us had to pack bags, right? Pass out pamphlets in the hallway and all that. You know what I'm saying? Facts. You know what I'm saying? Those are dudes' original hustles. That's when the hustle game began. Those are the original hustles. Packing bags and walking people groceries upstairs and passing out pamphlets and selling incense and, gypsy must, you know what I'm saying? Word, then it migrates to marijuana, and then from there, the rest is history, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had their 1-2 step, their 1-2 hustle, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait to work Summer Youth, you know what I'm saying? Summer Youth got me fly a couple of 2 good summers, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't wait to get my working papers to work at D'Agostino's in Manhattan, you know what I'm saying? I used to work in a flower shop. Like, don't get it twisted. Dudes had jobs when they was young. The streets is just wound up taking all our time. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I want you to have a blessed afternoon. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all that check out my content. Go check out Fat Joe. You are from Feeve. I'm from East Harlem, man. I'm a kid from East Harlem with I've been through a lot, seen a lot. You know what I'm saying? If you fell before, you get back up. But we definitely not judging you. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it going, man. You know what I'm saying? Take the history for what it is. If you don't like it, you can build with somebody. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There was one on 86th and 2nd Avenue. I worked on the one on 34th Street. No, 36th Street and 2nd Avenue. Going up. 2nd Avenue goes up, right? Yeah, go up. No, it goes down. I worked on 36th and 3rd Avenue. Yep. It was on 86th Street. There was one on 86. Yep, there's one on 86 and what's that? No, 86 and 1st Avenue, my bad. It was one on 86 and 1st. Facts. Yep, D'Agostino's. The company that owned them was Graffiti's, and the same person that owned Graffiti's owned Sloan's. Yep. The one, you know what I'm saying? I used to work for the one on 36th Street. You look at me that job? Let me get that job. Malcolm X's daughter, one of the twins. She was cool with my teaching. They had plugins for jobs, and it was after school job. But with that being said, I got to take myself back. I got to go back to work. I gave you my lunch break. You know, build, destroy. We build it, we win it, we win it. You heard? With that being said, we here. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all. Know what I'm saying? Yep. Peace. Yep. Peace. I hope this is a good live, man. With that being said, man, so it piggybacks with the video I did earlier. With that being said, you know what I'm saying? Peace, salute.